So let me ask you a question. Have you ever been sitting around with a group of friends or associates and you're talking about classic things from your childhood, whether it be movies, TV shows, and you always have that one thing that comes up that you've never seen? And then they always say, I can't believe you've never seen that because it's such a beloved classic. Well, that seems to happen to me quite often, and the one thing that usually always comes up is the Goonies. Now, I never saw Goonies when I was a kid because, let's face it, I didn't think it looked that interesting, and I was actually getting a little bit older. I was into high school at that time, and I was playing sports. I was more into cars and girls and things of that nature, what a normal boy would like. But for some reason, that one always missed me, and that was one of the things that I was like, you know what, I'm going to remedy that. I have to watch this movie now because on more than one occasion, something like that would always happen where that would come up. So I ended up going on eBay and I found this movie for about $6 and I bought it. And my oldest son and I sat down and we watched this movie. And before I tell you what I think of it, I can understand why a lot of people do like it and why it is popular. There's iconic characters in it. You have Corey Feldman from Lost Boys, and you have Short Round, and you have Rudy in it. How could it not be good? And this movie, it has a group of kids that they each have their own quirks and their memorable attributes. And I can see there's a charm to it. And also that fulfillment of adventure. Let's be honest, when we were all kids, we all had those fantasies and about, going out on epic adventures with your friends and maybe finding treasure or whatever it may be, but we all had done that. And some of the memorable moments in it, with the Hey You Guys and the truffle shuffle and the booty traps, I totally understand it. And it was, those became pop cultural touchstones. It's always mentioned. And, this movie, it had a certain magical quality, and it was often associated with the work of Steven Spielberg and Richard Donner. Whatever they touch most of the time, it's gold. And the soundtrack, the song by Cyndi Lauper, it's instantly recognizable, and it adds to the movie's nostalgic appeal. Now, I watched it, and I have to say, you ever watch something that's been so hyped up that when you finally do get to watch it, you're like, well, I had some problems with it. And some of the problems I had with it is I felt that it was just really disjointed. The kids are looking for treasure, there's the sloth, there's the traps, and there's just so much going on with it. And a lot of the childish humor, although it's charming at times, I do feel that, it was a little bit over the top, and sometimes it just looked really dated to me. And I understand, a lot of people, they watch this movie with nostalgia goggles because, let's face it, this movie, it just depends when you saw this movie. Now, had you seen it when you were growing up, then yeah, it's going to be a cinematic classic to you because it's something that you saw when, you were growing up, and it takes you back to that time. And unfortunately, I just seem to have missed the boat when it came to that because I didn't watch it when it first came out. And I also think that this movie had so many pacing issues. Because I found it to be, it drug in a lot of places, and it just felt really repetitive. Now, I go back to that, when you see a movie at a certain time, like I said, you have the nostalgia goggles on, because there's movies I watched when I was a kid that I go back and watch now, and I'm like, it doesn't really hold up, but I do remember and have, I had fond memories of it as a kid. And I'll just say Gremlins for, example, because I recently watched that again not too long ago. And, I watched it and I was like, it's not really that good, but I still liked it because it reminded me of when I was a kid. So I understand why people could like it there. And then also, like I said, it gets to a point where, when you see something that's been hyped up so much and, you finally see it, and like I said, it just doesn't live up to what you've heard this whole time. It's sort of like my whole life I've heard about, oh, you've never seen the Goonies, I can't believe that. And then when you watch it, you're like, meh, it was okay. So I don't know, it's one of those things where I guess I just missed it when it was when it came out, I think had I have seen it when I was younger, I probably would have had a different perspective of it. But since I watched it as an adult for the first time, I think that has a lot to do with it. And I'm not knocking it. I mean, for what it is, a lot of people love this movie. And like I said, there's a lot of good qualities to it, but it's just like I said, it was just the timing. It just wasn't there for me. And let's face it, as a kid, I grew up in a time where we had so many things that we would go to. We had Jaws and Star Wars and Close Encounters and Indiana Jones, Back to the Future, so many different things, so many great movies that once in a while want to slip by you. And I mean, I think that's what happened to me. I don't know. Let me know what you think of the Goonies. It's one of those things, like I said, I've always heard about it, and I finally sat down and watched it. I thought it was a little meh. Let me know what you think about the Goonies. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you like this kind of content. Also, leave me a comment. I do enjoy reading them. Until next time, I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.